Hey guys, and welcome to the June 2019 Creativity Tarot readings. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Kayleigh Jean. If you're new to my channel, you are welcome to use these readings for your sun, moon, or your rising signs. So go ahead and check all of them if one of them doesn't resonate. And I just wanted to say to you, thank you so much to everyone who has been supporting my channel. This month, our Inner Workings topic is all about self-love. So if you're somebody who enjoys my channel and you get something beneficial from these readings and you want to support the work that I'm doing here, I am so grateful to you. And you have a couple of options on how to do that. So the Inner Workings topic is going to be posted on Vimeo, and it's going to be posted on the normal donations page. So if you prefer to donate to support my channel through my website, that option is revamped this time. I'm bringing it back. I was just exploring things last month. So you can donate to support this channel if you get something out of these readings and you want to say thank you. And just as an additional gift to you, I create the Inner Workings topic for each month, which is just a place for us to hang out and talk about spiritual topics. And I love hearing from you guys. And this month I am covering self-love, because it's such a buzzword and it's such a big topic, but I wanted to kind of take it deeper, and I wanted to share more intimately about my personal beliefs and my own personal thoughts on the concept of self-love, what it means, and how I measure it in my own life. And I'm also offering a tarot spread to help you connect to your own relationship with yourself. So that's going to be included in the Inner Workings topic. So I hope that if you're interested in supporting my channel, you will check that out. And I also wanted to say that I am going to continue creating the Vimeo extended readings. Have been a really great way for me to go deeper with the general monthly spreads that I do for you every single month. It's just a way for you to watch the deepening of the energies, especially if you feel that the reading is resonating to you. Then watching the extension is probably going to be even more connected to your energy, because these are just general readings, so they're not guaranteed to resonate with everyone every single month. Okay guys, those are my announcements. I will see you in the readings. Okay Pisces, let's get into your June reading. As I was tuning into your energy, I felt that this month can be a very prosperous month for you. This month can be a time in which you also achieve a lot and accomplish a lot. But the message that was coming through was something along the lines of that God, the saying like God helps those who help themselves. Or my personal favorite, trust in God, but don't forget to tie your camel, which is coming obviously from the Arabian area of the world, but I just absolutely love it. And I feel like this energy that's coming through is like, if you will be your own advocate, if you will be your own kind of, I want to say, if you'll be your own advocate, you will find that mystical or otherworldly forces of synchronicity will come through and support you. As long as you are taking action on your own behalf, the universe is going to step in and help you out. And I also heard specifically the phrase saving graces. So I feel like there's going to be a situation perhaps in which you need to be your own advocate, and you may feel that there are opposing forces involved, or there could be a problem or a dilemma which seems at first glance to be unsolvable or challenging or tricky for you. But as you continue to move forward in it with courage, and as you continue to be your own advocate and to stand up for yourself or to take action in terms of what you feel you need to do or on what you believe in, that's when you're going to start to see these other forces coming in and joining the situation to help you out. So the message is that you are very supported this month, Pisces, and you're going to be able to accomplish a lot. Just make sure that you are putting yourself in the driver's seat and that you are staying clear in your own boundaries and staying true to yourself. That might mean that a situation in your life requires you to be a bit more assertive. But overall, I feel like this is going to benefit you a lot if you can just be and continue to be a little bit strong for yourself and a little bit courageous and brave. You're going to start to see that other things come into play that are supportive to you that maybe you didn't expect or anticipate. So that will be very exciting. If you set your intention to like see those things when they're happening, you'll start to feel very supported by the universe, and that always feels good. The other thing that I was getting for many of you Piscean people out there is that you're probably feeling a little bit overwhelmed or even exhausted. So I want you to, in June, make sure that you're taking enough time out for yourself. And I also feel like maybe something around the solstice, which is June 21st, or some celebrate it on the 22nd. Around that time, I want you to take some time out for yourself, and I want you to allow for some reflection, because this is a turning point in the year for all of us. But for you, I feel like you just need a little bit more time for relaxation and a little bit more downtime. So if you feel like you need to fit that in with a seasonal change, or if you want to fit that into like some kind of personal magical practice or spiritual practice, then by all means go for it. But also know that you don't need a permission slip from anyone. You can take off time for yourself. It's important that you do so in order to recharge your batteries. Okay, Pisces, those were the psychic messages that came through for you. Let's go ahead and check out your cards. Pisces, 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 Pisces. Feels like that one. Okay. And we're also going to get you your messages from your animal spirit guides for the month. So pay attention to where you see these creatures or their likeness, as they may be bringing in additional messages and synchronicities for you. Feels like you guys are somewhere on the top or near the top. Okay, now let's take a look. What's going on with my beautiful Pisces? So we have black egg, wow, and butterfly. So beautiful and very, very clear. So because my readings tend to focus on creativity and your career path, what I'm getting is that many Pisceans this month, you're probably going through some kind of transformation in terms of how you communicate about yourself and your services. This is a really big opportunity for you, actually, because I feel like you are going to be changing the narrative of what you do. And I also feel that you're going to be expressing more of your true, authentic self. So think about those parts of you that maybe the people closest to you would describe as some of your biggest strengths, but that you are afraid to show, for example, in public or on social media. For example, like one thing that I noticed about myself is that when I'm with people who I really, really trust, and who I've known for a really long time, I will be like a lot more humorous and comical and like joke around and be outrageously silly. And I've noticed this in myself recently. It's like, why don't I share more of that on the outer level? Like, why don't I share more of my humor? And it's not that I feel like I hold it back on purpose or anything, but it's just, it's like a different facet of me. And so I feel like there's something about this for you, Pisces. It's going to be in your own way. It may be related to your sense of humor. It could be related to your overall silliness and your playful heart. It could be just related to your weirdness in general and the things that you're into that maybe you are not sharing all the time and that you're afraid to talk about because maybe you don't know how it's going to be perceived, or you don't want to be perceived in a certain light, or something along those lines. Maybe there's some repressed fears going on, but whatever it is, I feel like you're being invited by the universe and by these cards to really step into your full expression of yourself. So this is a very expressive month for some of you. I could see you doing some public speaking because the black egg relates to the fifth chakra, which is the throat chakra. So all of this stuff that I've been talking about self-expression, that's why I'm talking about it, because the black egg relates to the throat. And it has to do with speaking your truth, and it has to do with communication. And also, I feel like the story or the narrative that you weave about yourself, or for example, if you are in business, like the marketing materials that you use, or just what you do to get the word out about what you do. With the butterfly as the influence, you're going through a powerful transformation around this topic. So one thing that I want to say is that when you are in such a powerful transformation, Pisces, it's important to be really gentle with yourself because you're going through so much change. Anytime that we are in a position of transition, when we are in flux from one state of being to another, that's when we're the most vulnerable. That's when we are becoming more, or when we're going through these periods of increased exponential growth. And not all times in our life are like this. We go through periods of transformation, periods of intense growth, and then the rest of the time we are growing at different kind of speeds or different modes. But sometimes we go through a lot of transformation in a short period of time. So I feel that this is happening for you, Pisces, and that's why this is coming up, is that you are either already in the midst of a powerful transformation and a journey into the unknown and into unknown expressions of yourself, or you are about to enter into that type of phase. So either way, it's super important, the vibrations that you surround yourself with right now and the vibrations that you put out into the world. With the black egg, I want to say that it's really important for you to make sure that you are like listening to good things. For example, Pisces, like fill your head with positivity right now. Watch uplifting movies, watch or listen to, comedy shows, do something that feels lighthearted to you. Spend time with friends and family who are, you just know that they're not dramatic people. They don't tend to call in a lot of drama in their life. Those are the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with in June. And if you don't have a lot of people that you feel inspired, like, oh yeah, I want to hang out with this person, because you tend to feel drained by spending time like socially with a lot of people right now, then it's time to just, close the door to your room and put your music on, put uplifting music on, and just create, or just lay in bed and listen to a guided meditation. Do something that makes you feel good. This is about surrounding yourself with high vibrations because, like I said, you are in a vulnerable position. You're going from one state into the other. Any period, like for example, if you ever take a self-defense class or anything like that, the first thing that the instructor will tell you is you need to prepare your mindset for when you are in a transitional space. For example, if you are going from your car to like the place where you're attending an event, or vice versa, if you're leaving a building and walking out to your car, that's a transitional space, and that's the most likely time when you would need to use your self-defense skills. So this is true. Like the reason that I'm explaining this to you is because energy in spirit, energy in terms of your emotional energy, and energy in the physical plane, they're all connected. The laws are universal. So if you're in a transition in terms of like your spiritual mindset about life or your emotional mindset about life, that is just as vulnerable as if you were in a transitional space like with your physical body, going from the car to your front door, or, whatever. You want to have more of a clear mindset about what you will do to handle potential situations of difficulty or potential influences coming at you from other people. When you are in transition, you need to be particularly mindful that the energies that you're surrounding yourself with are uplifting and that they're not going to be unnecessarily dragging you down. Because like I said, you're more vulnerable. So surround yourself with positive energy, listen to uplifting music. If you have any like art on the walls, for example, in your house that you really love maybe because it's full of emotion, but let's say that emotion isn't necessarily positive, like maybe it's an image of a person that is looking kind of sad or dark, maybe this is a time where you want to take that painting down for a little bit or take that picture down for a little bit and put something a little bit happier up just until you feel like you get through this phase. Like I want you to really look at your environment, look at the people that you surround yourself with, look at your daily things that you have to look at, for example, in your home, even items or messy things, areas of clutter, anything that kind of tends when you just pay attention and you're like noticing the subtle changes in your energy. You notice when you look at it, you're like it just kind of brings you down. Try and just cover it with a white sheet, or cover it with a pretty tapestry, or cover it with something that is just going to kind of take your attention away from it if you can't physically move it out of your house for any reason. Just find ways to raise your vibration and constantly reinforce that positivity, because what you're doing now is going to provide an expedited growth period for you. So you want to maximize that, because the potential for this period of time, it's a short period. I'm feeling intuitively, just as I kind of tune in as I'm talking, I'm feeling like June and July are going to be particularly powerful energetic set points, where if you find a way to hold your vibration in a consistently higher octave, even if it's just a tiny bit higher on average, that's going to translate into like what could potentially become major shifts in your life over time, because you're going to learn to hold yourself at a higher octave. You're going to learn to hold yourself in a more good feeling place. And I feel like that's just going to pay off dividends in unmeasurable and uncountable ways, because you're going to be, when you have a higher vibration, you're more attuned to the opportunities that are right for you. You are more accepting of abundance, and you take better advantage and better care of the opportunities that you have. So I feel like this is an exciting time, but it's also really important for you to be intentional right now, Pisces, about what you have surrounding you, and be a little bit assertive if you need to about getting space from anything that sort of brings you down or has that tendency. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot cards. So we've got the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups. Wow, so powerful for Pisces. Two of Wands and the Sun. Seven of Swords and the Moon. 10 of Cups and the Tower. Wow. So I'm just tuning in here. Okay, as we go into June, there's a lot of watery energy surrounding you, Pisces, with the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups. I feel like what you are holding, Pisces, is the Holy Grail. They're making this point with, the cards are making this point with the Knight of Cups, that here you are holding the cup, right? And here is the cup, like here's what's in the cup, which the Ace of Cups represents healing. It's also associated with the Holy Grail. So it is really like the most pure form of psychological healing, if you want to look at the myth of the Holy Grail as like a psychological alchemical allegory, which is relevant to Western society mainly, but anyone who's really looking for the ultimate healing salve for their soul will find something in the story of the Holy Grail that will reflect that seeking and reflect that kind of self-knowledge that's gained through that internal questioning process. So when I'm looking at this, I feel like there's a lot of spirit energy around you, Pisces, and you are feeling more and more like you found your purpose. You're feeling more and more like you do know what your best use of your skills is, and you know what is going to be the most personally satisfying for you on an emotional level in terms of like how to spend your energy and how to use your life's like work towards something that will benefit yourself and others. There's something here that feels incredibly healing for you in the first week of June. So I want to say that I also feel like there's a lot of psychic discovery coming on. Now, this might not only be limited to the first week of June. This could be a theme that hits you throughout the month of June. So I want you to pay special attention to the synchronicities that you're getting and the messages that you're getting spiritually. I want you to also seriously put down some solid parameters for a personal spiritual practice. Even if it is only 5 minutes a day of lighting a candle for yourself and just sitting with that candle, or even if it's the practice of every time you fill up your refillable water bottle that you bless the water inside of it, and that's going to be your daily meditation. It can be 30 seconds long where you just hold your bottle of fresh water that you just filled up and just bless it with love, abundance, peace, prosperity, whatever it is that you want to bless it with, Pisces. I feel like there's something so healing about kind of using the intention of putting love into your water, or putting some kind of positive energy into your water. And as you know, there's been studies done that show that when you put positive intention into the water, it actually changes the molecular structure. So for a Pisces, this is a very profound thing, and it's also something that you're intuitively aware of because you are the wateriest water sign, being mutable water, like you are the water. So what I get from this is like really powerful energy around water, healing energy around water. Also, drinking more water is going to be important, and just putting that intention into it as well is going to be equally important. So that's what I want to say about as we go into June. This is an important time for spending time around a body of water, drinking plenty of water. There's water in almost all of your cards in this reading, so it's just standing out to me, whereas if you look at any of the other readings for this month, I never noticed that in any of the other readings. So the water is a really powerful theme for you, Pisces. Two of Wands and the Sun are coming through in the second week. So we have a shift in your energy that is very discernible, where we go from this very receptive, inner work, inner healing, inner guidance, psychic, watery realm, and then it turns, which is so often the case, it evolves and it transforms into fire, because we have the Sun, which is the ultimate fire, and then we have the Two of Rods, which is the Two of Wands in this deck, the New Palladini Tarot. So what I get from the Sun and the Two of Wands here is that whatever spiritual insights you're getting for yourself earlier in the month of June, you start to put them into practice and you start to sketch out a sort of plan for yourself. I feel so much creative energy coming through for you, like a burst of creative energy coming through for you around the second week of June. So take advantage of that, because when you do, you're going to find that you are maybe twice as productive as you normally are, even when you've been really inspired in the past. It's like something just comes over you and you feel that much more inspired, that much more empowered, and I think things are just going to come through and collectively manifest for you in a very powerful way. So I think this is just awesome, and I'm really enjoying seeing this for you. So take advantage of the ambition that you have. You have a really good mix as well of fire and water in these images, so it shows me that even though you're switching over more to like a fiery mode, the water is still there guiding you. Like your native home element is still there, guiding this fiery expansion, guiding this fiery explosive energy. So you could find that you are, like I said, doubly productive, more than normal with your creativity. You could also find that you are expanding at a very fast rate in terms of your skill set. So you could see like maybe you have started working on a new skill and then you just get really positive feedback, or people are just loving what you're doing, and you can feel that you are becoming more and more adept at whatever this is. And because it is just the 2 of Wands and not like the 10 or 9 or a higher Wands card, I feel like this possibly is something that's somewhat new for you, but at the same time it's like you're catching on, it's catching fire. So really lovely. The Seven of Swords and the Moon is coming up in the 3rd week of June. So right around the solstice, I want you to be, in the 3rd week, yeah. So like leading up to the solstice, basically. I want you to be a little bit cautious with things that are happening around you. Be discerning, Pisces, because there could be some kind of lie being told to you in that 3rd week. And I'm not saying necessarily that the speaker, if it is like an actual person in your life who is telling you something that's not true, they may or may not be doing it on purpose. They might themselves have faulty information, or they might be engaging in wishful thinking. And I just don't want you to get caught up in that, because I feel like that can sort of trap you, and that can make you feel like something is able to be manifested in a certain way that it actually isn't, and it's going to require a different approach from you than the one that is being presented as the most successful. So I want you to be really cautious with like what you hear about around that time. So this could be, I mean, it could happen a little bit earlier or a little bit later, but with the moon, we can have like flights of fancy, and the Seven of Swords can be deception. So that's the most kind of challenging read of this pair. For many of you, that isn't going to be the case. Some of you, there could just be like a lot of enthusiasm around something that ends up kind of ultimately needing, maybe it's not even just that it's deceptive, but there's more to it, and so you want to employ kind of like your inner Scorpio in a way, like suss out the real information, go deeper, seek deeper, put out your watery tendrils, Pisces, and seek deeper, because there's more information being gleaned, or there's more information like that's able to be gleaned from the situation. So I want you to be really motivated to go deeper than just the surface level of things. And I feel like if you do that, you're going to be golden. Another thing that could be coming through for some of you is that maybe you have a dream around that 3rd week, because it's the moon, it's a nighttime, imagination-oriented energy. So it could be a dream that gives you either like a feeling of an omen, for example, and it may not mean what you think it means, Pisces. So for some of you, I feel like if you have, like, let's say you have a nightmare and it's about kind of like one of your worst fears, and you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, like, is that a sign? Is it going to happen to me? Oh my gosh, like, why did I have this dream? What does it mean? I feel like some of you could get caught up in interpreting something in a way that isn't actually true to its nature. So you want to really question your immediate reactions to things, because they may not 100% be the truth. And this is actually, it should be a really comforting message for some of you Pisceans out there who tend to worry a lot. I myself am also a water sign with a lot of watery energy, and I can definitely be a worrywart. And sometimes, it's, if you're connected to signs and synchronicities, well, occasionally you'll get a sign like through a dream or through something synchronicity related, that feels like a symbol or an omen, and it can feel a little bit negative. And I just don't want you to get caught up in that, because I don't think that's what it means. I genuinely, Pisces, hand over my heart, I don't think that, and I don't feel that this sign, whatever it is, or this disappointment or this fear, is actually grounded in reality. I feel like there's a potential for you to, on a subconscious level, assume things based on like your fear response rather than on like a true intuitive hit. So be really careful and cautious with any like signs that you think you're getting that are like a bad omen, because I really don't think that you're meant to take it that way. If anything, it could just be your subconscious processing of fear, and trying to write it out so that it doesn't have that same emotional charge for you. Sometimes we have a repeat nightmare, for example, so that our psyche can process the emotional charge and the emotional content of that dream. It's not because your psyche wants to torture you. It's just because your inner being is trying to get you desensitized to that energy. It's trying to get you into a place where you can just exist with it and not be affected by it, and then you will stop having the dream or whatever. So don't trust things that feel negative to you in that third week of June. And it could be another person maybe saying something really negative about the future or forecasting a horrible prediction. If you go and get a reading maybe from a reader and they tell you something very dismal, like this is a perfect like pair to say, look deeper. Like they could be projecting their own energy onto that, and it may not actually be the case. So this could be around the 15th or so of June, I'm feeling, right at the beginning of the third week. Okay, we have the 10 of Cups and the Tower, so blast off in the last week of June with the 10 of Cups and the Tower. Something is being again transformed, because you have the butterfly card coming up as the influence. So I definitely see these things as being related. I don't necessarily read the Tower as something negative. I feel like there's other cards in the deck that more kind of demonstrate changes that are like negative for us. I personally see the Tower more as an explosion of energy. I see it as being something that breaks out, that's something that can be liberating, something that can be expanding in a short period of time in a way that can be like really impactful. So with the 10 of Cups and the Tower, there could be some really impactful information regarding a family situation that comes through in that fourth week. For some of you, that's going to be the case. It's like, whoa, grandma did that? Like, holy smokes, like that's freaking crazy. I can't believe she did that. It could be that kind of thing. It could also be something a little bit more unusual, like maybe you get notice about your partner's job or your fiance's job, taking them to a different part of the world and they want you to come with. Or maybe someone is moving out, somebody that has been in your happy family unit. Maybe you have a child who is moving out of the house and you're going to be an empty nester. There's some kind of change coming to the home front, because we even see the Tower here in the background of the 10 of Cups. The good thing that I feel with this synchronicity that we have with the Tower here and the Tower here is that the 10 of Cups swoops over the Tower. So it kind of makes me feel like that's what the cards are showing us, is that yes, something could be changing significantly within your home life or your home situation, or you might be getting news or something, rapidly changing that may feel unsettling at times. But overarchingly, we have the 10 Cups in the rainbow. So you are going to find, like after this storm passes, if for some of you there is a storm, which not for everyone is going to be that way, but if there is some kind of metaphorical storm in your home life or eclipsing something about your home life that you have to adapt to, you are going to see a rainbow after this storm. Like the energy is going to pass, the air will be fresher, the colors will feel more vivid, there will be a silence, there will be a refreshment of energy, there will be charged, beautiful negative ions in the air that just feel so good when you breathe them in. There's going to be some kind of a moment of acceptance and a moment of peace following this Tower experience. It could be for some of you that you do feel like things are getting a bit turned upside down in your home life or with your family, or maybe even with a community that you're involved in at work or just a general community. But overall, I'm getting this sense that it is for the greater good. And maybe, like I said, it's just new information that kind of shakes things up. But I think ultimately you are going to find peace with it, and that it is in your best interest. Pisces, Pisces. Okay. So I'm going to pull your additional cards here, Pisces. When I do these extended readings, I'm asking for more insight into the energies and anything that I didn't notice before to come through for you. And I'm also asking for the outcome of the merging of these energies each week, so that you can use those energies to your best advantage. I'm also going to be getting you a message from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Okay, here it is. And I'll be getting you a message as well from the Soul Trees Oracle. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and turn these over, but first I'm going to get you a message from the Bob Ross playing card deck. I absolutely love this little deck. I think it's so sweet, and I just love it because of how accurate it is. When I'm reading for a creative person, the messages that come through are so spooky clear and very kind and grounded at the same time. I just love Bob Ross too. Aw, okay, so you got use absolutely no pressure, just like an angel's wing. So that's a really sweet little thing that he said, and it feels like it's about using no pressure on the brush, but just really lightly kind of dancing the brush across a little area of the canvas. So this is about being easy on yourself, and it's about just being gentle. With the angel's wing, the mention of the angel's wing, I think this also comes back to that original message of a saving grace. And I feel like there's divinity coming in to help you and support you, Pisces. So there is some kind of theme with that phrase coming up, that it's like there is something almost angelic, or there is something spiritual that's helping you. Wow, so we have the Knight of Cups coming up again over the Knight of Cups, with the 10 of Pentacles and the Tower. We also have the 10 of Wands, the 5 of Cups, and the 10 of Swords. We've got the King of Wands, the Nine of Swords, or Nine of Wands, and the 6 of Wands. We've got the 9 of Swords, there's the 9 of Swords, and the King of Cups and the Magician. Now we have the 2 of Cups and the 2 of Wands in your energy. We have the 9 of Pentacles and the 4 of Swords in the energy of a partner for you of some kind. And we have the energy between you as the Page of Cups. Your oracle is Peace, and your Soul Trees oracle is Truth. And the bottom of the deck is your card, the Queen of Cups. So I'm going to be diving into interpreting these energies, and I will be pulling some extra clarity cards as well to just take these messages deeper. These additional readings are just a way for us to continue the conversation. The main reading that I just gave is the main message for June, but for those of you who feel called to support my channel, if you get something beneficial and you just want to say thank you, I just feel called to keep giving back to you. Basically, I every time that anyone feels inspired to donate to my channel, I just want to give something right back to you right away. So that's why I initially came up with this concept for, like, to use this concept rather. I didn't come up with it, but that's why I eventually ended up thinking about using it for my channel, and also because I was getting the request for it. So if you're interested and you want to support my channel, you can head over to Vimeo and check the extension reading out. Anyway, I hope that you have an amazing month in June, Pisces. Thank you so much for being here on my channel. I absolutely am sending you so much love. I hope you have an awesome, prosperous, and peaceful month in June. Take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you later. Bye.